This is just a bunch of commander cards that I made for Rick and Morty, and we're just gonna dive right into it. The first one is just strictly a proxy. It's a proxy for Brea. Oh my god, you should dude, I just crashed out looking for the name of Brea. I didn't know Brea's name, so I had to like go on the internet and look for it. Anyway, here it is. It's Rick Sanchez, Tinkerer of Terror. This is a everything but green commander, legendary artifact creature, human. When Rick Sanchez enters the battlefield, create two 1/1 Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, choose one. Rick deals 3 damage to target player or planeswalker. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. You gain 5 life. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Haha, yeah, I say that all the time. 2 middle fingers. 4/4. So yeah, this is just a proxy of Brea that looks like Rick. That's all there is to it. I mean, I feel like Brea was a good way to proxy like Rick. Like, it's a good card. Like, it encapsulates everything that Rick is. He creates these inventions. I guess he could destroy them to do certain things, or they destroy themselves. I don't know. I thought this was a pretty good plugin for my own proxies. There, I'm not like I'm selling them. Take them. They're free. Take them. You can't sell proxies. That's illegal or something, I think. And why would you even do that anyway? Who would buy them? Anyway, we're gonna go right up next to Rick Sanchez, Optimistic Inventor. This is 2 blue and red, legendary creature, human artificer. At the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 colorless servo artifact tokens. 2 1/1 colorless servo artifact tokens. This might be a little bit OP. It might be a little bit OP. Even though it is only at the beginning of your upkeep, someone can remove Rick Sanchez, I mean, at any time they feel like it, so, yeah. But anyway, whenever 2 or more non-artifact creatures you control die, transform Rick Sanchez. And here's the backside. Rick Sanchez, Vengeful Pursuer, legendary creature, human artificer. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, you may pay 1. If you do, lose 3 life and draw 2 cards. I feel like each side may be like better for certain scenarios. Like if you're like a tokens deck, you're gonna want the front side, the Optimistic Inventor side, and if you're more like a sacrifice deck or like sacrifice artifact specifically deck, you definitely want the Vengeful Pursuer side. This fits like amazingly into a Brea deck if you wanted to. If you and your pod would allow these, feel free. Anyway, yeah, this whole card basically encapsulates the lore of the young Rick. Whenever 2 or more non-artifact creatures you control die, that being like Beth and whatever the fuck her name was, the grandma. No, not the grandma. Beth and Rick's wife, you transform into a Vengeful Pursuer, and there's not much flavor over there, just some sacrificing artifacts stuff. So hopefully all those treasures and servo artifact tokens pay off when you sacrifice them. You get to pay the 1 and stuff. Up next, we have the card I made for Rick and Morty, titled Rick and Morty. This is costed at 3 blue, black, and red. Legendary artifact creature, human cyborg. When Rick and Morty enter the battlefield, create a treasure token and you get 1 energy counter. Remember energy counters from like, what was it, Kaladesh? Pay 1 energy, exile Rick and Morty, and choose a phase of your current or next turn. Return Rick and Morty to the battlefield on chosen step. That could be really OP. That could be really OP. This is definitely for a flat flicker deck, but in Grixis colors, kind of weird, huh? Well, figure it out. I don't know. It might be OP, it might not be. But if you want something to do with all these energy counters we get, use that. Up next, we have Morty Prime, the Morty that we follow throughout the series. This is for 1 blue, 2 reds. This is 1 blue, 2 reds, legendary creature. I forgot to put a type. If I did a type, it would be human or maybe human cyborg. I'm not sure about human cyborg, but Morty is technically a cyborg right now. Whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Morty Prime explores and deals 1 damage to any target. Lore-wise, this doesn't really mean much, I guess. Morty exploring with like the tech he gets from Rick's, garage. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. We're all gonna die. Come watch TV. Famous Morty quote. I guess this like the exploring can lead to Morty getting really big. Like that's just he has a lot of potential if he gets more his hands on more artifacts, more technology. He can get pretty strong. Yeah, strong as Rick. And we're gonna look into Rick next. Another Rick card. I mean, in Rick and Morty, there are tons of Ricks, an infinite amount actually. Up next, we have Rick C137, 4 Grixis, legendary artifact creature, human cyborg. Rick has hexproof when to make up for the cost, because geez, man, people do not play 7 cost commanders very much anymore, save for like the Dragon and what was it, Atraxa. Oop, my mom's screaming downstairs. When Rick C137 enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 artifacts. If you do, destroy 2 target creatures. This is like the inverse of the original Rick. Like remember the one we just covered? And it doesn't matter much. It doesn't even make much sense lore-wise to do that, but I thought it would be kind of cool. Discard an artifact card. Return Rick C137 from your graveyard to your hand. So this is basically Rick's like weird like technology that allows him to like keep staying alive. What was it? Project Phoenix. Just general like stuff that he has to just keep him alive somehow. I don't know how. All I know is that my hairline is off. Jesus Christ. I don't get a shape up though. I got the I date white girl's hairline. Anyway. Discard, yeah, I already covered that. Artifact creatures specifically you control have unearthed. So yeah. And his little flavor text I wrote is, your boos mean nothing, I've seen what makes you cheer. I love that quote. He's a 5/5. Up next we have Rick Prime. Rick Prime is from the universe that Morty Prime, the Morty that we follow, is from. This is basically Evil Rick. Some people call him Evil Rick. I call him Rick Prime because Evil Rick is kind of corny, unlike Evil Morty. Rick Prime would basically be a commander if you wanted to run all the Rick and Morty cards, because he is a Wooburg commander. So, legendary artifact creature, human cyborg, regenerate. The Rick that we have, the Rick Prime that we see in the show, literally does like regenerate his throat and stuff when he gets cut by like super cool Jerry and stuff. So anyway, for Wooburg, 2 extra blacks. Create a non-legendary copy of each legendary artifact you control. That could spin way out of control. But this is still not as strong as that other guy, that Scouty guy. So yeah. What was it? Did I mention the 5 generic cost? Yeah, he costs 5 generic. And here's his flavor text. You're welcome, by the way. I made you. I showed you infinity. I like that dialogue there. Good writing. 3/5 is what he is. All right, in Esper's colors, we have Evil Morty. He is 3, a white and a black, legendary artifact creature, human artificer, flash, and shroud. When Evil Morty enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures you control and draw that many cards, and phase out that many non-land permanents. And this is basically just to like show like the whole, the whole destruction of the Citadel. Like he sacrificed all of the Ricks and Mortys, and he was able to like jump to another universe by doing that, or break out of the central finite curve, whatever they call it. So yeah, this is another Flicker commander. Except you actually cannot except for the small caveat that you cannot flicker this at all. The only way to flicker this, because it has Shroud, is you have to exile it with its 2 blue ability and return it to the battlefield later. I thought that if you were able to like flicker this like willy-nilly, then it would be a little bit too OP. And technically there's probably ways around the Shroud. But yeah, your best bet is just going to be playing some fair magic by just, exiling it with the 2 blue abilities. So this is also a tokens deck. You can phase out a lot of stuff, like save your things on somebody's like. This is like a little mini Teferi's protection, or maybe like a clever concealment would. This looks more like a clever concealment, I guess. But yeah, this is just to signify the thing that he did to the Citadel. You got a lot of value. I'm sure you get a lot of value from sacrificing all those permanents. Permanents being the Ricks and Mortys, the alternate Ricks and Mortys. Up next, we're gonna do Jerry and his wives. I don't know. Okay, Jerry 5216. Apparently, this is the Jerry that we follow not throughout the whole series, but like, what was it, season 2 or 3 and up, because of the Jerry Barry. Like the Jerrys got mixed up. But yeah, this is like not the Jerry that the series started on. Multiple times removed from that guy, actually. So yeah, Jerry 5216. This is a 1 in a white legendary creature, human coward. Because, you know, Jerry's kind of like a... I'd rather not say that. Jerry cannot block or be blocked by creatures with power or toughness 3 and greater. And he has partner, Thruple, because he's in a thruple, sorta. You can have 3 commanders if all 3 have this ability. And he is a 0/3, and his quote is also as lame as he is. But there's some synergies that we might see here. Up next we have Space Beth. This is 4 black and a blue. Legendary artifact creature, human cyborg. If you own and control a creature with 0 power, Jerry, activated abilities of creatures you control cost 1 blue and 1 black less to activate. So 1 blue, 1 black. Space Beth cannot be blocked until end of turn. So this is basically a always unblock. As long as you have Jerry, this is pretty much always unblockable. And for 2 blue, Space Beth phases out. If Jerry's here, it only costs 1 blue. So this is also just to reflect her weird phasing ability that like allows she could like tap on her forehead and she phases through stuff. She can be phasing out, or she can be phasing through your opponent's creatures. Not so the opponent's creatures can't block them. So there you go. She has partner Thruple as well. You can have 3 commanders if all 3 have this ability. So this is going to be with Jerry and the other Beth. Human cyborg. I don't know if I said that. And she is a 5/3. You can win through commander damage pretty fast with her. And now we have Beth C131. This is apparently like the Beth that we follow. Dude, it gets so complicated. This is multiple times removed from the original Beth. Just know that, all right? It's a whole proxy family at this point. A literal proxy family. Whenever a creature, legendary creature, human clone, I think that the housewife Beth is the clone. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I fully subscribe to that. Whenever a creature you control with power 1 or less attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is to make sure that Jerry doesn't go too out of control with Space Beth. So you might want to just play Jerry and Space Beth and just leave out Beth C131 for a little bit until at least you wanna start buffing up your creatures, or if you ever do at all, you can just do Jerry and Space Beth Voltron, and just leave Beth C131 as a last resort. Whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, scry 1. And for 2 white and a red, target horse gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And that's basically just to represent the fact that she's a horse surgeon. So yeah, there you go. And she has partner Thruple as well. She is white, red, and blue. Red, white, and blue, huh? She is red, white, and blue as a command. I forgot what they call these. It's not Esper. Who knows? Anyway, her flavor text reads, "Loving you is work, Jerry. Hard work." Cruel thing to say to somebody, but you know, Jerry needs it sometimes. He needs to grow a spine once in a while. Up next, we'll do the Jerry that grew a spine, Jerry Prime, the original Morty's original Jerry. You know, it's such a shame that they killed this guy off. I thought he was a really cool concept. Jerry Prime for 2 Golgari, legendary creature, human survivor, because you know he survives. Whenever a mutant enters the battlefield, you may blight 1 and create a food token. So the whole blight mechanic, I guess like you could build the deck around that, but you are the one that has to the blight. You know, it is a May trigger, but yeah, this is basically like a hybrid blight and food token deck because of the survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Jerry Prime is tapped, foods you control have tap, add black mana, 1 black mana. And it's black pip too, it's not, so that's pretty, it could be better, it could be pretty good. So yeah, maybe you wanna put this in a deck full of like mainly black food token generators. I really did feel the need that like mono black food needs help, but I couldn't resist putting the Garena in because this is Jerry at his most primal, right? So yeah, the flavor text reads, "Yeah, well, look, we're being smart, gotcha." So yeah, Jerry Prime has a pretty big butt, pause, butt meaning he has a pretty high toughness. Set this at 5. So a blight might not matter for a little bit if you want to put it on Jerry. At least 2 turns, 2, 3. Although eventually you are going to have him at 0 or even negative powers. So unless you want to make this a +1/+1 counters deck as well, then you might be dipping into too many archetypes. So yeah, I don't want to tell you too much what to do there. But yeah, this is actually the favorite card I made in the Rick and Morty set. Yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting one. The art looks pretty cool, even though it is pulled like straight from the show. I just pulled it off of, I think I screenshot a clip. Some of these I screenshot clips. The others I just literally looked up, image of Rick or Morty or some shit, and then like, oh, there's one. So yeah, there's Rick Prime, or Jerry Prime. Summer C131. It's from the same, like, plane, is he? No, from the same universe as Beth. And Space Beth, I guess, right? She is mono red, 1/2 red, creature, human. I actually don't think that Summer is a cyborg. I think she's just a human. I didn't know what to do, like human student, human girl, like I don't know, I just put human. Whenever you equip the creature with an equipment, draw a card. And I only said with an equipment because I was afraid that equipping a creature could mean some other stuff, like you do some ridiculous things with that. You probably can, but I just said specifically with an equipment. I don't know if that changes things at all. But if it does, let's just consider it an errata. Let's errata it back to whenever you equip the creature, draw a card. So hopefully that goes to some Voltron decks that can, you know, use ability. I think that mono red needs help, so I don't feel bad about making this OP if it is OP to you guys. And flavor text reads something that I will not say. This is a 2/2. And last but not least, we have Bird Person, probably the weakest commander on here. I didn't really feel like doing much with him. I didn't have much to do with him. I guess I could have made Phoenix Person as well. Do I do that? Yeah, let's do that. I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a while. I've had these made for a while, but I'm gonna do that. It is 5/17 on the 12th of May, and I'm going to do that. And come back. Oh, but let me explain Bird Person first. This is 1 Simic, legendary creature, human bird druid. I think the druid was a nice tack on there. Whenever Bird Person attacks, target human you control gains flying until end of turn. This is basically to represent him carrying Rick, Tammy, take your pick, whoever. He's just carrying them. And that's all he does. So, yeah. I apologize for putting human bird druid. Or human, because I don't think Bird Person is a human in any sense of the word. I mean, I know it says Bird Person, but he lives on another planet. Isn't he just inherently alien? Not to mention that humans don't have wings and stuff like that, and weird beaks and lay eggs or whatever Bird Person does. I don't know. I don't think he's a human. So, let's get on to that Phoenix Person. I'm gonna make it. All right, it's gonna be 2 seconds for you guys. It's gonna be like probably like, I want to say 15-ish minutes for me. All right, it is 5:41. I guess that took longer than expected, or maybe exactly as expected. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. I don't even remember what time I said it was before. We did Phoenix Person. So he is a 4 Rakdos, legendary artifact creature bird cyborg. It has flying and haste, and whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, Phoenix Person deals damage equal to its converted mana cost to any target. If converted mana cost is 0, add 3 red instead. This ability only triggers once per turn. It actually did not say the instead, but I guess it doesn't matter because if the converted mana cost is 0, even though there is technically a trigger for that to happen, it's just dealing 0 damage to somebody. Oh, but that could still count as like, what? Like a crime, committing a crime, doesn't it? If someone wants to put it in their crime deck. Oh well. Anyway, at least it only happens once per turn, right? The flavor text is, it is now Bird Person, and he is a 3/2. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. I thought it would be an interesting idea to like punish people for casting artifacts, you know. But yeah, as soon as this comes down, you know, it has its flying, its haste, it deals like 6 damage to anyone you want, and it ramps you. It ramps you if you like have treasures or something that you're creating. You get 3 red mana, so this is definitely an aggressive deck that you're building. Artifact punishing, so bring this to your pod if you wanna mess with that one artifact player that you can't seem to get your hands on. The one, what was it? Prismari, the original Prismari. Screw with that guy a little bit. Screw with him. Yeah. Alright, that's gonna be it for the video. I forgot to say please like and subscribe earlier, so please like and subscribe and stuff. And I'll try and have a better life, a better time, dude, because it's been recently like not too good. I mean, things got better while during the little break we just took. Things got slightly better, but I could use the help. So please like and subscribe. It's free. Do that. Put me through college a little bit. I'm gonna be in debt if you don't. So yeah, I'll be making more of these. Anyone that you suggest, or really, I'm thinking about doing Star vs. the Forces of Evil next or something like that. I'm never doing Amazing World of Gumball. Sorry, I'm never doing it. It doesn't make sense. There's no way to power scale it. There's no way to translate it to like Toon Force into Magic the Gathering cards. I'm just not doing it. I'll probably move on to animes after I'm done with like all the mainstream cartoons. But before that, I'll probably do like fucking Owl House and all that other cornball shit. What else is even left? We already did Regular Show. Regular Show just came out with like a new episode the other day. Yesterday, actually. I was watching it with my friends. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you watched this far, genuinely thank you. Please like and subscribe. I love you, and God bless. Yeah, let's call it that. Anyway, stay scheming and keep dreaming. Romans chapter 12, verse 12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer.
年少同路，共踏旧风尘，